Few words on Marco Polo. Looking at the still photograph reconstructions with the audio, I feel that this serial has been greatly mystified via it being lost. While I can believe that it might have had tremendous production values, certainly toward the end in the Khan's Palace in Peking, actually watching it play out via stills, mind you, but with the accompanying audio, I cannot help but feel that this serial, if it were available, would be one that drags, because as we can tell with what we have, it does. We can talk all day about how amazing the production values were, that's fine, but would it really have been the most engaging, imaginative, or stimulating of Doctor Who stories? Firstly, the thing is repetitive. The ladies get into trouble, then get out of it. Ian is in a tough bind, then gets out of it. And for 7 episodes, I honestly find it to be a slog, and I'm aware that the stills make it less enticing, I know, but even if it were fully available, I can't imagine it being too engaging an experience. Much has been made, it seems, of John Le Carotti's scripts, their attention to historical detail, China being called Cafe, as we all know, and how he was such a legendary writer for the show. But the dialogue in here isn't always that impressive. It is structurally banal and generally basic. The third to sixth episodes feature pretty little of overall consequence. All the tension is solved relatively quickly, and then we have Tagana just contrivedly plotting on the sidelines, the most one dimensional and rather predictable of villains. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be impressed by in these scripts, other than Lucarotti's obvious and worthwhile attention to historical detail. Mark Eden as Marco Polo is pretty good, and the Khan, played by Martin Miller, is quite likeable. Actually, the serial improves sufficiently once we finally meet him, and him and the Doctor's rapport is fairly enjoyable. At 7 episodes, I just think it drags, and to those who cherish John Le Carotti's scripts for Doctor Who as great drama or really impressive TV writing, I'm a bit confused by your possible standards. I'm aware that the Doctor Who scripts, maybe around this time in the First Doctor's era, could be better and aren't always of a seminal quality, at least compared to what some might consider of, say, the second, third, or fourth Doctors, or maybe others would say beyond, to overall be. However, is John Le Carotti's work really of that much higher a calibre than the other First Doctor material around it? It's a good idea, the First Doctor's initial outfit venturing across historical China with Marco Polo, crossing the Gobi Desert, tensions between the Doctor and Polo, meeting with Kublai Khan himself, but I just find that the execution, at least in terms of scripting, could have been a lot better. If I'm missing anything, beyond what we all obviously are, about this serial, do let me know. I would love to enjoy this more, but I genuinely suspect that this one, were it never lost, would not be so exalted as it seems to be sometimes amongst the wider fandom. I swear I once saw a link to an old Doctor Who fan site, via another old fan site I believe, to a tribute page titled Marco Polo, the best Doctor Who story ever. Yearning over what could have been, how much more beautiful and enriching our lives would be if we could access and watch the great, tragically lost Who serial Marco Polo. I don't know, let me know if I'm off base, I'm aware that I may be.